Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. We are back in the Ferrari 296 GT3, this time at Mugello for yet another track guide. Now, if you do wish to race the exact setup being used here, you can go to our website being shown on the screen, or you can go to our Patreon page. There is a link in the description if you prefer that sort of thing. You don't have to, but it is an option that a lot of you guys have been asking for, and now we do provide. Over 160 happy iRacers have joined us in the last month and a bit. Anyway, we'll do a hot lap, a breakdown, then we will be back in the cockpit one final time with the driving line on. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Let's start the hot lap. There he is, smashing it down the main straight, coming up to turn 1. Well over to the left-hand side, starts braking just after the 100, holds it up there quite hard, leaves it in second gear, over to the right-hand side. Now just a light little dab on the brakes, just a lift as we go through turn 3. And back on the gas, can be quite slippy mid-corner there. Head over to the right-hand side. And now we're looking for just before the 50 board, braking up to about 50%. Lift again as we go through the right-hander. Turns 2, 3 and 4, 5 quite similar. Now we're looking for those marshals on the left-hand side, trying to carry as much speed as we can through the downhill, just a lift on the left-hander, back over to the left-hand side at the marshal's hook. We're going to do lightly on the brakes and back on the gas. We want a really wide entry so that just a lift will do through turn 9. Easy to get the off-track there. Braking up to about 60% down to second gear. Can be a bit dodgy hitting the no-cut curbs, but the Ferrari does eat them up quite well. Head back over to the left-hand side. Now we're looking for the 100 board. Gets us ready to turn in, get on the brakes, and it's a long trail off second gear through the apex of turn 12. Cutting the corners of 13 and 14 without getting the off track. Head over to the right hand side, and we're looking for the just before the 50 board on the brakes at about 60%. Long trail off again in third gear. Now back on the gas quite early on. It's going to send you out wide. That's perfect from Gianni. Pins his ears back for the line, and across he goes in a 145.3. So this was his second push lap. So still plenty of fuel in here. Right, we'll do the breakdown lap next. Right, let's do this breakdown. So the first braking marker going to be just before the 100 board. So just before we get there, gets on the brakes as you can see now. Holds it at around 65, 72%. Holds it. And now, as he looks to start turning into the apex, that's when he trails it off, picking back up on the gas. Where are we? There we go. Nicely at the apex in second gear. Head over to the right-hand side. And more or less as soon as you get the car over to the right-hand side, that's when you're lifting off the gas. And on the brakes, I think it's about 30%. Trail it off down to the apex, trying to avoid the no-cut curbing there on the left. Get over to the left-hand side. Now we're just doing a lift through 3. Back on the gas. Important not to go too early there because it is quite a stringent off-track, about 2 inches to the left of where Gianni is. Head over to the right-hand side. Now we're looking for the just before the 50 board here, as you can see. So again, on the brakes, this time slightly harder, up to about 50%. Trails it off, getting back on the gas on the apex in third. And again, it's just going to be a lift to go through the right-hander following up. So for turn 6, the downhill, we're looking for this little marshal's hut on the left-hand side. You can see these two geezers here in the orange. So once we get alongside them, on the brakes it's about 40%, trail it off down to third. Now we're picking back up on the gas at the apex. And now we're just doing a lift to go through 7. And again, starts getting back on the gas once he's at the apex. So no secret to it, guys. Right, over to the left-hand side, there's another marshal's hut just on the left here. So once he's here, he is going to get on the brakes up to about 20%, and he's just going to slowly trail that off and then get back on the gas in fourth at the apex. Exits nice and wide, so we can just do a lift and then back on the gas to get through turn 9. Yeah. Right. Now we're looking for this little exit road on the left-hand side there. That's going to be the braking marker. And on the brakes, it's about 55%. Again, trailing that off. Back on the gas in second at the apex. And just a lift to go through turn 11. Yes. Right, we're looking for the 100 board on the left-hand side here, but we're not going to brake until just after it, I believe. Through the 100, yeah, and now we're braking to the initially 55%, but it's a long trail off, so he's only on 7% brake around here. And as I always say, it's not really to slow the car at this stage, it's just to keep the weight over the front wheels so that the car turns in. And now he gets up to 100% quite early on because he already wiped all that speed off in the initial braking phase. Flat here through 13, 14. Head over to the right side. Now we're looking for the, it's just before the 50 board here, because we're braking nice and hard in a straight line. So it brakes up to 60%. Again, now trailing off in third gear, picking back up on the gas. Simply lovely. Right, that's the breakdown lap. We've got one final version coming up next with the driving line on without me talking. Join us. View our website.